I've had 5 things that God gave me in my life. Sally, my 3 kids, and Corona. Motherfucking Corona is the greatest thing since sliced bread, apple pie, and motherhood for this program. This economic environment couldn't be any fucking better for QLA. For your sake, I hope this lasts 1,000 fucking years, because it's like taking candy from a baby. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's that easy. Lights, music, that's all horseshit. Money talks and fucking bullshit walks. Some people still won't admit it. But the soft, touchy-feel music, ping pong at the fucking headquarters is gone. Zuckerfuck, all these guys are hammering them now because they produce results that they can't produce anymore with ping pong and fucking badminton. You don't read the shit. I showed you 7 slides. Probably none of you have ever read any of that. Are you reading the wrong things? Yes. The last thing when I tell you, if you read anything other than QLA, these are the 5 or 6 things. But you won't read those because you're going to be so fucking busy, you don't know whether to shit or go blind, going crazy. There's no way humanly possible anybody is going to allow changing one motherfucking molecule to have petroleum. None. That was never going to happen. Just like I tell you, we're going to have flying cars when Saudi Arabia, the King Saud, whoever the king is, fucking decides so. There's certain things that just aren't going to happen. No matter how many placards, as they say, and they're being marched around embassies. Not gonna fucking happen. The kids today don't want to hear that. Shell and the Hunt brothers thought they were such a high probability of gas being there, each one built a $100 million gas purification plant. That's how sure they were. Of course, they were wrong. Now I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna get 5% of $100 million. And it never comes at the right time. It always comes when you have nothing. You know, you missed your car payment. I called up accounting. I said, I haven't got an invoice. Wait, oh no, Bunker Hunt. Bunky, he says, nah, Danny, he's a good guy. He didn't know he was going to get in the deal, so we'll just eat it ourselves. Is that going to happen to you? No. Because who are you rubbing elbows with? Poor, white, brown, black, green trash. That's who you're rubbing elbows with. That's the difference. Poorness rubs off and richness rubs off. And in my particular case, almost all of these guys and gals understood where I was in life. Some of your lives will be changed marginally. Some of your lives will be changed dramatically. I don't know anybody, even if they've given up in the program, that's poorer today than when they came here. How do you train to strengthen your emotional bank account? Poorness rubs off. Almost everybody in this room has poor relatives, poor family. And it's an awful thing to say. They're the reason you're here. Sunday, they spend with their kids. You didn't see Nelly this time, where he brings them to his office and they do QLA for dummies, dumbed down for the kids, and they dress them up in their little suits and, you know. And it is possible, and then you can turn out somebody like him. If you don't have kids, don't get them now. First of all, it's a thankless fucking job, and they're not worth it. And I have 3 successes. I can't imagine. If I knew they weren't going to be successful, I would have drowned them in infancy. So you're not going to be my fucking flesh and blood and not be a high-performance person. You'd be dead. But I mean it. We had a deal closed in Montana a few years ago. A guy named Chris, God love him. And he's on his phone, and he's driving, and he's all bundled up. Where are you going? He says, I'm going to the Walmarts. I think if it's open, I hope it's still open. Why? Because the lady I bought it from took everything. Toilet paper, soap, and she wrote herself a dividend check, $31,000. I had $31,500 in the bank account. She wrote herself an outgoing dividend check. That's the real world. Doesn't matter what the fucking contract said. What are you gonna do? Chase the bitch for $30,000? I would. No, I'd spend $500,000 chasing her for $30,000 because I've done it before. But you won't because you don't have any fucking money. What have you learned from this experience? It says, people are no fucking good, Mr. Peña, just like you said. If you go on the proposition, then people are no fucking good, you won't get hoiked as much. And then when somebody's decent, you go, God damn, maybe Peña's wrong about this. But then when somebody fucks you where you breathe next week, then you realize I'm still right. Now, by the way, those are you that are gonna buy medical practices, doctors, dentists. You close on Friday, you show up on Monday, all the equipment's gone. All the scalpels and all the shit is gone. It's a guarantee. They took everything and then they graffitied it. That's the real world. The kids that didn't want to have anything to do with the business, and then dad and or mom or both sell the business to you, then the kids come in and torch the fucking place over the weekend. They don't want it, but they don't want you to have it either. I tell the kids, you close on Friday at 5, you're there from Thursday at noon, changing the passwords and all the shit like that. And you escort every motherfucker out of the building. And you sleep there over the weekend. You! So I told him what to do. None of which he did. He wound up with his thumb up his ass. Now you all say this is stupidity, right? How could that happen? Right, Doc? This is stupidity. How could that happen? I would never let that happen to me, right? We'll see. I hope you're right, and hope's not a strategy. That's the real world. I wish it wasn't. I wish fear wasn't my number one lever. I'm a carrot and stick guy, but mostly stick, because money talks.
Can you not claw it back?
Sure you can, but that takes time and money. Are you gonna go to the bank and say that they took the MRI machine and they took this and that and the collateral and because I was so fucking stupid and now we have no collateral? Am I gonna come back and tell you that? No, because then you're gonna question, what are you, a moron? You called the loan. Of course you can put it in there. You should put it in there. But then you've got no money to follow. You're gonna chase him with your fucking few pounds you got in the bank? No, and the lawyer's not gonna do that on a success fee basis. You're fucked, and not in a good way. And I'd rather be fucked in the ass than in one of my pores. For those of you that have never had anal sex, get ready for it. You'll get used to it. See, nobody talks like this, do they? They don't tell you the fucking truth. They're gonna bend you over and fuck you for practice, sweet pea. I'm telling you what the Lord knows. Most people you can't trust. Everybody's gonna lie to you. They'll say it's not a sin of commission, it's a sin of omission. Meaning they're lying to you because they didn't tell you all the truth. It's still a goddamn lie. It's because it's a load of shit, that's why. Now, if you're so fucking stupid that you think that, life's not fair, go be a monk. And I've had some people, after the seminar, go become a monk. God is my witness. Because they're so disillusioned with how life really is, they can't take it. Because you can't take the truth. Politics is wrought with buffoons. In the last 10 months that I've been involved, I always thought they were dumb. I just didn't realize how fucking thick they were. I mean, now that I'm in the trenches with Jesus Christ. Nobody! Now maybe they're waiting to put a bullet in my head close up, but nobody has brought that up. And I thought it was the first thing they'd bring up. But everything I say is the fucking truth. I automatically know when I'm chairman that they didn't look too hard. If they're, some of the questions they asked me, go back and try again. What does our CFO say? What does the CEO say? What do the two industry experts say? What do our accountants say? What do our fucking lawyers say? I felt like telling the bitch, you can fucking Google it, it's online. Why are you asking me? Of course, he didn't ask them. You're supposed to use these professionals. When I say this, I mean it. You're not there to make friends with these guys and gals. And it's lonely at the top. Although that doesn't bother me, it bothers almost everybody I know. And it's funny, I used to wear a dunce cap in grammar school because they thought that I was retarded. I could go back and sue the LA school system, and there's no time limitation on this kind of suit, for $1 trillion, allowing me to stand in that fucking thing, shitting my pants, crap running down my pant leg when my parent would come and pick me up. Can you fucking imagine CNN reporting this story? When we went back to the school 6 or 8 months ago, the current principal, I told him a story, and tears got in his eyes, and he said, I'm so sorry. For what? You didn't do it. You must feel humiliated to walk back in the school. No. And as we walked around the little campus, and I said, they used to, you pay $4 here. And he said, yes. And I told Sally, I broke her kid's arm in 7 places here. I remember I went down and snapped his arm again to make it to 7. And then we go around to the tether ball, the ball that goes around the pole. I said, I put a kid's eyes out here. And I said, this is memory lane. But that's what made me who I am today. And then when we got to the window, I got chills. And if that teacher hadn't stepped a little bit to the right, it would have hit him right in the fucking, killed him instantly. But Allah is with it. That's not my destiny. Allah decided not to kill that little wormy fuck that I tried to. But that's one of the guys that had not physically abused me, but put me with a dunce cap, put me in the, shit my pants, etc., etc. Because I didn't just decide to drop a fucking aquarium on his head because I decided not to brush my teeth that morning. But that's why I am the way I am. And I'm not making any apologies for it. I don't know anybody my age that has fire in their belly anymore. Some of you in this room pretend to have fire in your belly and you don't. When you're doing a 100% seller finance, what's the downside for the seller? If you default, what happens if you default? They get the business back. I buy her business 100% seller finance over the next 5 years. I default in year 2. The business goes back to you if you foreclose. But you don't want the fucking business back. I know it, and you know I know it. When they sell you the business for 100% seller finance, they don't want that motherfucker. They don't want to touch it. You're going to have to twist their arm to keep them on for 6 or 12 months. So they have no leverage. Yet most of you kids, that's what you're afraid of. They could take the business away from you, but they won't because they don't want the goddamn thing to begin with. Anybody that does 100% seller finance wants out terrible, bad English, It's like a woman sleeping next to her husband knowing that her husband's cheating on her every afternoon. She's just trying to figure out how to get out. So the thing that you worry about doesn't happen. Okay, YouTube, go fuck yourself.